This conference will now be recorded.
Live.
All right, so thank you everyone for coming today to the Transportation Committee meeting. I'd like to start off by looking at minutes from previous meetings. Hopefully you had a chance to review those as we communicated before the meeting. We would entertain a motion for approval unless there are some errors that need to be corrected, in which case we'd be happy to note those and correct them.
I'll make a motion to approve.
You have a motion? You have a second on that?
Second.
All right, thank you. So we have a motion and a second. All those in favor of approving the minutes, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. All right, the minutes are approved. So Aria, if you'd like to go ahead and introduce the traffic counts discussion.
All right, so for traffic counts, we do these every 3 years on a cycle in the same locations. We have 65 counts we put out each year. We adjust them every year a little bit based on whatever data you want to collect. You know, if you want to collect for gravel roads, we can adjust them to account for that. This year we've adjusted a few, I think mostly in this last 2021. Off the 2021 attachment. I should have an updated one.
Updated one in at least the tech packet.
Okay, maybe I'll check the tech packet. Well, in your packet, you should see the locations, and we emailed those ahead of the meeting as well. So I think mostly in Delphi are the ones we added for future development in the development areas and also for truck traffic to catch some of that data. But otherwise, it's the same as what we usually have scheduled. What? Nope. F10? I don't know where the full screen button is. But here we go. These are the updated ones. And on the map, I also showed the previous years, so you can see which ones we've already counted nearby. There we go. So yeah, you can see a whole bunch here in Delphi. A lot along the highways. So anyway, if anyone has any suggested stations that you'd like to count, feel free to propose some.
So just a quick note here before we get into that. I want to note that we, as the area plan commission, do not take counts on the state routes.
Yes.
NDOT has their own program for doing that. So if you're looking for some of those, then talk to our friends here about it. But they count program. For us, it'd be all local stuff.
Yeah.
So then there's one just east of 4, clear up by the county line.
Out here?
It's between 6 and 700 east, or 600 east and 29. I think that's where you got marked at right now.
Oh, this one, okay.
No, down.
Oh. That's the one I was at before, okay. Okay, is that fine?
State road, so
I
didn't know if you guys done for this one. Or...
We've counted that one before.
Okay.
Maybe the volume isn't high enough, that's the problem. And we do avoid, we have all of NDOT's stations listed already, so it shouldn't be a place that they're already counting. But I will definitely make a note of it. Okay. All right.
So I know we got a few suggestions from both this committee and the next committee in advance. I believe we've already put those in this map, right?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, most ones in Delphi came from our emails between meetings. So, And I guess for the data we can collect, we can do classification data. So, passenger vehicles, trucks, buses, bikes, or we can do speed data. Turning movement counts, we would have to do a special study for. This is just kind of volumes on mid-block segments. So.
And we do have a little bit of time, so it's not like you have to decide by tomorrow.
Yeah.
And we'll probably start these, I guess, around April.
Yep. With the way the weather's been, maybe we'll start them really early this year.
Not actually do it, too.
Yeah.
Usually we try to wait till April. And even the weather, it's
Yeah.
it would be too hot by then. I don't know, maybe like 90 in April.
Maybe. So yeah, if you have any ideas or suggestions after the meeting, you can always email us with locations you want to count. I'd like to get them finalized, I think, by maybe early March or so, and I'll send out a final version. So that's all I have.
So then we'll go ahead and, unless there are any questions, maybe I'll take the last call for questions. So then the next item is the small urban and rural transportation planning program. So this essentially is how 80% of our work is funded here. We apply for a grant from NDOT each year, and that will fund it. So basically 80% of just the staff time that we spend, prepping for these meetings, doing quality control for traffic counts, et cetera, et cetera. So what I really want to talk about is what I think is probably one of the biggest ways that we can potentially help you guys this year through this program. And I'm going to mention this definitely the next committee as well. But that's specifically about the truck routing issues. So I know that going through Delphi, there are some challenges where we'd like it to be more of a pedestrian friendly area and not have these heavy vehicles that are kind of going through your downtown and tearing up your roads, etc. But this has kind of been an ongoing issue for a while. And what I would like to do is put together kind of I would call it an action plan as to how that can be addressed. So, there may be some short-term sorts of things we can do in terms of there's some ordinances and enforcement about that, but I think ultimately what we're also going to want to look at is what we can do long-term in terms of building, I don't necessarily want to call it a bypass, but another route that might be able to still get traffic where it needs to be fairly efficiently, but get it out of the area where there's a lot of pedestrian traffic. You guys have done a lot of work on your downtown. Some of the businesses here have done some great investments and things more walkable, which is awesome. So yeah, that's essentially what we kind of want to look at, is sort of short-term and long-term sorts of things. So kind of my vision for this is to put together a committee, stakeholder group, working group, whatever you want to call it, and kind of get all the players together in a room. It might be a virtual room, but as long as we all find time, talk about this and then sort of see, okay, what's it really going to take to get something, especially long-term, to get a new road in place. What's it going to look like for acquiring the right-of-way, what sort of costs we have in terms of engineering, utilities, those sorts of things, so that we can actually look at, okay, what's this really going to take to do something like this. So that's kind of my sales pitch to you guys as to how it can help you. We're certainly happy to facilitate that, but I want to know if that, first of all, if it even sounds like a good idea. Let me start there. So I'd open up the floor for discussion or comments on what to say.
It's a good idea and a good discussion to have, whether it's determining whether it's feasible, a long-term solution. We get that complaint from citizens often, so whether we can wrap them around or not, at least being able to explore it and say what we're doing or why we can't do something.
And it's like maybe some thoughts.
Oh, I would agree with his statement, yeah. Our downtown has been the same for years. Those roads won't lay out for semi truck. The hardest thing is obviously the state road that runs through and what you do to alleviate it. So I think at least looking into it would be a good idea to do. If it's even feasible, and if it is, what the cost is, and long-term impacts and short-term impacts and things of that nature. So I would agree. And I think it's worthy to at least look into it.
From a job perspective, just for what it's worth, we've had conversations similar to this with previous administrations. Aside after that, the challenges for us is being that a state road, you can't stop trucks from driving a state road. You have limitations in that. But in terms of bypasses, there's other locals that have had conversations about that. So we're always open to a conversation on what we can do to help each other.
Okay. So then, in my mind, kind of the next step is to get together an initial kickoff meeting, let's call it. So I'm going to be sending around some emails regarding that. I think my guess is, especially since, we're from Virginia County, you guys are kind of the southern end of the district. There's probably a virtual meeting. So I would just make sure that I have the right list of people there. So I'll be sending that around and have sort of an idea in mind who might need to be there. But, if you see, hey, Tim, you missed someone on the email that really should be on here, then let's get that person added. I'd rather have us start with too many and then maybe farther down the road we realize, well, maybe this person doesn't need to come to meetings anymore, as opposed to going the other way where we missed a key stakeholder at the start, right? So that's kind of what that's only a good action plan for everyone. Look for an email then. We'll set up in March. We'll see if we can set up. Alright, so then our next item is the 18-month ready list. So we actually just got an update, I believe this morning, yesterday afternoon from Matt about this. So I'm going to pass this around. This has more information than we had in the packet, so thank you.
Sorry for the delay on that.
Yeah, that's fine.
On short notice, my capital planning director was out of the office for a while, and I just want to make sure we got that to you.
No, that's awesome. We appreciate that. This is great information.
I think I can put it up on the screens too.
So then, the first project we have an update on is actually the second one, project 2002010. So program adjustments were made after central office review. So this was moved from FY25 to FY30 letting. My guess is that since this was per central office review, this was part of the rebalance. We're doing the same thing in Tippecanoe County. Projects cost a lot of money. And those numbers do not go down. So we've had some projects that had to move off this list. Just for anyone who doesn't know, this list captures projects that will be starting within the next 18 months. Obviously, fiscal year 30 is still past the 18-month threshold, so it'll be a while before this one is back. Do you have any other comments about that?
No, I just want to make sure everybody understands that, I think a lot of locals do the same thing as we are, which is funding is a challenge right now because of the letting projects is much more expensive and the challenges, and so, we're moving the shake we can to try and make projects preserved as well before they move out.
Yeah, and so it looks like our next project then got bundled together to coordinate with another project. So that made it move up a couple months from October to August. So, yeah, another probably good thing to kind of get those done in conjunction.
No, I don't think so.
And then our fourth project there on the list, also on State Road 29, the full depth reclamation project. So this also includes another DOS number for full depth reclamation. So this is in Carroll County and Cass County, I believe. If I'm reading this correctly. So, again, another thing that happens, trying to be as efficient as you guys can at the district. So, yeah, we try to get that, so that's that project. And then our last one, again, same kind of thing where it also includes a project this time on White County. So same kind of idea, you know, a lot of times, of course, when NDOT does these, you know, they group them together so they can get some better bids. Anything you want to add on this one, Matt?
No, just again, trying to improve efficiencies and get jobs out the door.
We do, of course, same thing that we see in Tippecanoe County. We appreciate all the work you guys do on it. I know it's a huge lift. Try to juggle all this stuff, especially with some of the crazy spikes in costs you guys have seen the past few years. We also appreciate the updates you got, so thank you. Any questions about any projects that are on here, or maybe some that aren't listed?
Specifically, the first one on Deer Creek. Do you know how far out you guys pushed that?
For Deer Creek,
Yeah.
I don't know off the top of my head if it's not on there. I can find out and get back to you for sure.
Again, I just want to reiterate the project that you guys got going, or will have, with the bridge on
Yeah.
the other end, just so things aren't going on at the same time, basically.
Yeah, we'll make sure
Sure
we
you
coordinate
wouldn't,
on
but
that. Well, I'd like to say we haven't done that before, but we've had some
Yeah.
challenges in the past, and that's
Yeah.
something that I'm really forcing our teams to get better at. So on that topic, though, as you guys see issues like that, please let me know. And we need to do that. And we're working to get there.
That one we definitely can't happen. Like we had in the southern part of the county, I'm sure we had 75 and 420 shut down at the same time. That was rough, but we shut both of these bridges down, and the law enforcement's gonna have a huge problem with trucks coming down Main
Sure.
Street.
Yeah, I will look at that.
I think the other one, I believe like that was, that one's gonna let in 25. We had a meeting,
I think that's correct.
that was letting in 25, so I'm assuming it's going to be.
I don't think it's going to be an issue, but I'm going to double check this.
Alright, so just last call for any questions on the projects. Alright, well, hearing no questions, we'll move on to our next item, which is citizen comments. At this time, I would open the floor to any citizens in the room who would like to bring forth any topics for discussion, or if we have any on the screen, we would take those as well this time.
Nothing online.
Alright, well, I'll take one more call for comments in the room.
I do gotta,
Yeah, go for it.
we've got the, through the hazard mitigation grant, we've got a hazmat study that's gonna be going this year. With those numbers, be good for you guys as well. On the
Yeah,
transportation, not so much the rail side, but what they get off of the road.
Yeah, so that's in terms of how much hazardous materials moving
Yeah.
through, yeah. Yeah, I think that would be definitely good data. We're never gonna turn down data, I think, is
Yeah.
what I would say. I think that's fair, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, if you could share that would
I think our own multi-hazard mitigation plan is already past the point of additional stuff, but for transportation planning, definitely.
Right.
Okay. Okay. So with that, we will move on to our last item, which is adjournment. So if everybody's ready for adjournment. I would entertain a motion to adjourn. So moved. Second. There's a motion and a second. All those in favor of adjournment, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. All right, we are adjourned. So we do have 3 more meetings as we quarterly, so May 16th is our next one. So we will see everybody then.
Yep.
And some of you will see sooner, probably. In terms of this committee, we will see that.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, on the next one.